electricity. You have to think much more creatively about how you deliver that message rather than just simply falling back on PowerPoint. But interestingly, now that I come back out, you'd think, what is a housing charity, how does that relate to working in Nigeria? But a lot of the people we work with, although they're not as absolutely poor as people in Africa, are as much excluded from society, are as much affected by bad health, you know, in relationship to the sort of normal situation in this country. I could see that I could transfer the knowledge I'd learned working as a volunteer in Africa into a different kind of organisation. And it's a kind of a truism that the non-for-profit sector is growing in this country and taking over a lot of responsibilities that were perhaps traditionally provided by government. And it really felt completely right for me to sort of blend my commercial experience and the experience I had in VSO. I think there are very specific skills that people can bring back to the workplace. A lot of them are around communications, about planning, and about creativity. And as well as that, perhaps more softer skills around sort of areas like diversity, which is a big issue for both corporate and the non-for-profit sector. I think those skills can be very valuable and can really add value to an organisation when people come back from volunteering. It's very easy to think about development as just handing out food aid. In fact, in some ways you can make a bigger difference by helping an organisation run more effectively, to help an organisation stay financially solvent, to help them with their marketing, with their fundraising, with their day-to-day IT and finance skills. And I think that can make as much of a difference as working on the front line with people. For me, it was about making a difference. I really enjoyed my time in Nigeria. I almost gained more than I gave back, but it was a real life-changing experience, really opened my eyes to the world about me, enhanced my professional skills, and really got me back to a career that I really enjoyed.
It's the job of the hospital management team here to run the hospital, and my job is to be able to support and help them in being more effective in their function. Back Chang. Didn't get that one.
Just sit behind one man and the other will talk rest.
Capacity building is getting to know the people who work here, and in my case it's the hospital management team. Getting to know what their strengths and their limitations are, and trying to capitalise on their strengths, on the energy they have, on the commitment to the hospital, and assisting in helping them to understand what they can do and what they can achieve. Now Monty Pet tonight man. Hi. I've done a series of workshops with each of the wards and the ward staff, and what we look at is hygiene, and we try and pull out all the issues that lead to poor hygiene, break it down into those small pieces, and then see the things that we can improve.
I'm really pleased to see you've still got your problem tree up on the wall. One of the problems we wrote down was we didn't think the cleaner had enough good equipment. So how can we expect her to do a really good job?
We were in a situation where the hospital really wasn't getting enough income for just day-to-day running, buying drugs where they needed to, buying equipment and all these kinds of things. So there was a real need to raise the hospital fees. Basically we decided to do bottom-up costing. We looked at various operations and medical conditions, worked out roughly how much each of these cost the hospital, and then we developed a new tariff. Once we'd done that, we had to go out to public consultation, which sounds quite grand, and it would be at home, but here really it's consulting with the community. And then finally that proposal goes to the Ministry of Health, who will rubber stamp it, which they did in our case. The staff are allowed to use 60% of the user fees to supplement their salary, because the government salary is quite low. So through having raised the user fees and the income of the hospital, we've now been able to raise the income of the health staff as well, which has clearly been very popular. We get so used in the health service, got to have all the latest equipment, all the best drugs, everything's got to be the biggest and the best. And in fact, you can get a lot done without having all of that. I've tried really hard to make sure that the work I've started and the changes I've made can be continued through the staff having the ability to continue them themselves. And that's really the outcome of capacity building. You want to know that when you leave, that your work carries on.
I think you can mix a volunteer placement and that volunteer experience into your career successfully. My manager was really excited when I told her, and she was very supportive and allowed me to have a leave of absence. And I've found since I've come back that people have been quick to recognise what a development opportunity it must have been and been keen to find out more about it. I know I was more motivated when I came back because they've been so positive about my going and doing a VSO. And I think in my judgment, that experience would have accelerated my learning and development by at least 3 years. So they've certainly gained in that respect. It will increase your confidence as well as your professional skills. So don't be afraid of it. Go out, take the challenge, and benefit from that experience. Would I recommend VSO to other managers? Absolutely, without a doubt. It's been an enormous benefit to me personally, and the management skills and the business skills really are in demand at the moment, and they really can make an enormous difference. A knock-on effect, if you can improve that organisational capability, then that reaches thousands and thousands of people beyond that. So yes, definitely.